No! Oh, fuck!
So here's the story about how I almost died while hiking in Medellín, Colombia. So the day starts out with the most gorgeous nature scenes you could ever imagine. We were at very high altitude though.
7,600 feet.
Yeah, so 7,600 feet, much higher than Denver, Colorado. That's pretty high altitude. So we're going to see the fall again in a second.
No!
So a lot of people ask, like, how did I even fall? And I can't really answer that. I think it was just the rocks were wet and slippery. I wasn't wearing proper hiking shoes or anything like that. And it's just one of those things where, you know, we all trip and fall sometimes. Now, as far as the distance of the fall, I would say it was about anywhere from 8 to 12 feet. But it's hard to say exactly because I hit those jagged rocks on the left first and then kind of tumbled down, hit that one rock over there. And I kind of went downstream more, and there's a rock that saved my life that I'll talk about in a second where I would have went down a big drop. But before they were able to pull me out of here, and thank God there was rope there, you know. But before they pulled me out, I was stranded down there for like a good 20-25 minutes, and all I was thinking was like, man, I just want to get pulled out of here. You know, once I get pulled out, it'll all be good. But then there was a realization of, holy fuck, you still got to hike down this goddamn mountain with all your injuries.
The closest to death I've ever been.
Hopefully the closest you'll ever be.
Yeah. If that rock wasn't there, I would have kept going and died. That rock saved my life.
Yeah, so further down that way, you can't really see it. There's a big rock that stopped me from going down a good 60, 80 foot drop.
And have you had lying on your head and not in your head?
I did. I thought you died. As soon as I saw you, I thought.
That's it.
Yeah, and like I said, I would have died if it weren't for that big rock that stopped me. And as far as my injuries go, I fell entirely on my left side, which was good, all the surface area to spread out the impact. Oh, look at that puncture wound. So I had this wound, obviously. Look, it's going to shoot out blood like a damn volcano. Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, so I had that 1-inch puncture wound in my side, a hairline fracture on my pelvis, and just, you know, a really bruised and swollen left leg. And like I said, at this point, I'm like just still relieved to get, you know, being pulled out. But now I'm like, oh, fuck. I got to do the most difficult hike. Yeah, look at me climbing up ropes. That is really hard with a fractured pelvis, let me tell you. So it was already one of the most difficult hikes I've ever done at high altitude. Now I got to do it with broken bones and blood loss. And, you know, scooting down, we were barely able to make it out of here with enough daylight. I mean, obviously I needed lots of rests and stuff like that because of all my injuries, but we did barely. We had to actually do the last 10 minutes by flashlight. And here's another lucky coincidence.
Your blood pressure is falling down.
We ran into an EMT as we're coming down, so that's pretty lucky that we just run into an EMT. I mean, so many lucky coincidences. We had rope that was there to pull me out. I didn't fall on my neck or my spinal cord or my head at all. It was all on my side. We had just enough daylight to get out of there. We had, you know, like I said, the EMT to make me a better tourniquet so I wouldn't bleed out and die. My cell phone survived, so I was able to call the same Uber driver that originally dropped us off and get us picked up. I wasn't so injured to the point where I couldn't walk, so a lot of lucky coincidences. Getting home was basically just a combination of me hobbling on my own here and then also getting helped out and carried by my buddies here. It's also a good thing, you know, a near-death experience with YouTubers because then the whole thing gets documented. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got. That's the story. We hobbled out of there. I lived, obviously. I did have to wait 10 hours in the Colombian hospital before I finally saw a doctor to get stitched up, but that's a whole other story. But I lived. That's what matters, and that's the end.